What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down 3 ways that wide receivers can dominate this season. So we're going to be looking at 3 specific examples and how you guys can add these tips and these elements to your own wide receiver game. So I hope this video helps you guys out, but also, fellas, our team has been talking about some stuff that we can implement this next offseason that, can serve as some kind of entertainment, some things that'll help you guys get better. So one of the ideas that we had is we were going to host a 7-on-7 tournament for a cash prize. So this is something that we obviously, nothing's official, but we wanted to run it by our audience to see what you guys think. So any feedback on this, if you guys think that it'd be a good idea, if you guys think there's some things we could add to it, please don't hesitate. Leave any kind of feedback in the comment section below. We always appreciate hearing from you guys, and we really want to help you guys out this offseason and give you guys something that is fun, but also will help you improve your skills. So let's get started with this video. So first things first, we're going to talk about how you guys can attack the blind spot of a DB. So when you guys are running a route against zone coverage, because we know a lot of you guys, especially at the high school level, see a lot of this. Like the DB will come down, he'll act like he's going to press, and then he will bail out of there. So this is press bail. This is a form of zone. So when he's bailing out like this is like he's got help to the inside. Because what leverage is this DB? He's outside leverage. So because it's zone, nothing changes in terms of how we attack a DB's leverage or how we structure my route. So if I have an inside breaking route against outside leverage, do you think that you just want to run up and go run the route? No, because that's exactly what the DB wants you to do. The whole reason he's playing outside leverage like this is because he's trying to funnel you into his safety help. So for me to create a bigger throwing window for my quarterback, I need to attack something called his blind spot. So the blind spot of a DB, there's always a blind spot whenever he's in zone. Sometimes even when he's in man, there's a blind spot, but it's wherever he has his back turned to, where he cannot see. That is his blind spot. So if I have an inside breaking route, like let's say I'm running a curl, a dig, a post, I need to threaten that blind spot the best I can. Because if you threaten a DB's leverage, why is he in that leverage? He's in that leverage to not let you run there. He's outside leverage because he wants to prevent the fade. He wants to prevent the comeback, the out route. So he's trying to protect that. So at the break point, if you guys can give some kind of a threat to the blind spot, whether that's a head and shoulder fake like so, whether it's maybe a rocker step, but it forces him to have to think about that out route, that fade route, whatever it might be, that can widen him just a tad, and all we need is him to hesitate. Because if that QB puts that ball right off the break, that is a much bigger window before that safety can come over and make a play on this ball. So fellas, understand that when it is zone coverage, you have to run an inside breaking route. We need to threaten the blind spot. So now, what happens if you have to run an inside or an outside breaking route? Inside breaking route against zone, you would want to threaten the outside. Outside breaking route, like let's say it's an out route, for example, you would want to threaten the inside shoulder. So if you got this DB in press bail, a lot of people think that always, no matter what the route is, you want to try to get to the blind spot. But you have to think about his leverage. So he's lined up outside leverage like this, and I have to run this out route. I don't want to just try to run to the blind spot and then break off on the out route, because if you attack his blind spot, what do we know he's going to do? He's going to keep his leverage, and then when you break on that out route, you're not going to have that much space. So if you were running this out, you'd want to do exactly what A.J. Brown does right here, attack the shoulder to the last second, maintain some space to the sideline, and then break down and slip underneath, because now at least I have some space for that QB to throw me open. So fellas, when it's against zone, when it's against press bail, it is all about your stem and how you're approaching this DB's leverage when you are running routes. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by A.J. Brown, pushing vertical and then threatening that blind spot of the DB to create a bigger window on that post route. All right, so now this next clip, fellas, this is off-man coverage. So the second thing that you guys can do to help your skills improve this year, help you guys dominate this season, is understand when to attack a DB's leverage in off-man and when to attack a specific shoulder in off-man coverage. So now we talked about press bail, we talked about blind spot, but what if we have outside shade off-man? So it's man coverage, he's just giving us about 7 to 8 yards. Nothing changes, fellas. If you guys get one thing from this video, it is that the DB's leverage does not necessarily change the concept of what I'm doing. So like if you have like whether he's pressed, whether he's off man, whether he's zone, it's all about his leverage. And his leverage means like where he is shaded. So he's shaded to the outside, that means it's outside leverage. So this wide receiver is running a 10-yard out, just like the last example we discussed with A.J. Brown. So he comes off the line and he attacks the inside shoulder of the DB, gives a fake, and now you see all the space he has to run to the sideline. That is what we want. So when we come off the ball, so many wide receivers think that it's just, again, about attacking his leverage. He's outside shade, so okay, I'm going to go square him up, attack him, get him to backpedal, and then break off. You have to understand he is playing this leverage for a reason. Just like when he is in zone, he's outside leverage for a reason. He's trying to force you inside. Just like when it's off man, he's trying to force you inside. When it is press man and he's right up on your face, he's trying to force you inside. Maybe it's cover 2. He's got safety help over here. So the leverage of the DB does not change. Does not change the concept of what he's trying to do. It just changes maybe how I structure my route a little bit. Okay, so when he comes off the line, just like how you would, if it was zone and he was facing the QB and his eyes were inside, we do the exact same thing. Let's threaten the inside shoulder. Let's focus on selling vertical, run with a good pad level, run full speed, run full stride, so we can eventually get him to flip those hips and commit. Because if we could get him to flip those hips, I could slip under and have plenty of space to that sideline for the QB to throw me open. We need to give that quarterback space so he can make something happen with that ball. If you guys just try to run around him and force the outside release, he will get hands right into your hip and squeeze you all the way to that sideline. So let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Ketchum, threatening the inside shoulder, giving that fake, and then winning on that route. All right, so last example that I want to talk about, how you guys can dominate with your routes this year, dominate as just a receiver as a whole, is know how to accelerate and keep separation after we get separation. This is something that so many wide receivers struggle with. So let's talk about, this is a sluggo route, but this could honestly apply for any kind of vertical route that's a press release or any kind of deeper route downfield. So let's play it again. So he runs off, breaks on this slant, gets that DB to bite, but you see how he keeps his head down until he is open and widens the distance with that DB. So slant and go. Obviously trying to make the first break look like a slant the best we can. We're taking a hard cut. We're taking 3 full steps. I put the brakes on the 3rd step, get the DB to drive. Now, so many wide receivers in this case, they got the DB, they beat him pretty bad, then they start to look back for that ball right away. That will slow you down and just give this DB time to recover. That is something that you guys have to understand. So when you guys get separation on a double move, get separation on a press release, you got space, but let's keep space. You see how he keeps the head down. He pumps the arms. He's actually running hard because now that QB, he knows that that QB is putting the ball to a spot. He's putting it to a landmark. Our job is to go get to that landmark. So when you keep your head down and pump those arms and you do that consistently, that lets the quarterback know he could put that thing out there with some air and let you go run it down. So many wide receivers are very inconsistent with this. They'll run that double move. They'll get this DB to bite on that slant. And then what they'll do is they'll look back 1 rep, and then the quarterback might overthrow them. And then they keep their head down. The quarterback might underthrow them. So you have to be consistent with what you do and how you get separation. Now, another thing, let's think about this in maybe a little bit more simple terms. Like, let's say we're off the line, and let's say we got a DB who's inside shade press. And let's say you have to run a fade. So that DB's inside shade. We know this from the last 2 examples. Let's attack him. Let's threaten him inside. We don't have to maybe like square him up or anything, but we give him a move to threaten him inside. I don't want to get this DB to move off the platform and then run up and look back for the ball. I want to keep my head down and accelerate if I move him off that platform so I could get some space from him and the QB can then throw me open. Now, let's talk about another time how you could get separation and get acceleration. Let's say you're in this situation, and let's say you run this route, and let's say you're here hip to hip with this DB like so, and let's say you have to run a corner route. Maybe you're down in the slot, and you break on the corner. When it's man coverage, you know the QB is going to be putting the ball with some air. So after you break on that corner, don't look back right away. Let's pump those arms. Let's keep my head down because when it's man coverage, that QB's putting the ball with some air, and he's putting it to a spot. Whenever it's a deep throw over the top, fellas, you don't have to look back for the ball right away. We have to get separation first and trust that the QB is going to put it on that spot. And when we can do that consistently, have that speed consistently, that builds that chemistry and that good relationship with the QB. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Russell Gage selling the slant, getting that DB to bite, and then pumping those arms to accelerate downfield. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, fellas, if you guys have any kind of feedback for us on that, our 7-on-7 tournaments that we want to start doing this upcoming off season, starting in January for cash prize, whether you think maybe, it should be more on a cash prize, if you think maybe we should do something else or whatever it might be, whatever kind of feedback that you guys have, we're always looking for new ways to give you guys what you asked for because we really appreciate the support and we We really appreciate the audience that we've built up on YouTube. So again, feel free to leave any kind of feedback you have for us in the comment section, you guys. I'll see you next time.